Hey everybody, I'm back. I've been on hiatus for a bit, so sorry about that. But I was doing things, so uh, I was doing some singing stuff. But now I'm back, and we're back to the where are we? Equestria Girls fan fiction, Starlight story. I cut it short by accident last time, so this will be the part two. So. Where were we? Oh yes, let's wait. Okay, here we go. Last time Starlight Glimmer was talking about how bad Christopher was treating Twilight and all that, freshman games and all that. So, okay, now we're with Twilight this time. And yes, the story is like a script kind of thing. No, they're not like that anymore. They've already apologized. There's no problem here. Christopher is doing fine on his own. Maybe from your perspective. But in reality, this school has been a nesting ground for the most arrogant, hateful people that had ever come out into the world. They weren't hateful, they were just so eager at winning and they took it too far. It's not their fault. It was a broken system and you knew it. There was nothing I could have done. No, there's plenty you could have done. If you had just tried, everyone would have treated you with respect. But instead, you chose to back away as they looked at you as if you didn't belong. You were an outcast to them. Isn't that why you made this room all for yourself? As a way to hide and retreat from those who would hurt you? No, I made this room so that I can study and work in peace. And you didn't bother to share with us because none of them share the same interests as you. She pauses, realizing there is a bit of truth to what Starlight said. Meanwhile, Spike just sits where he is, helpless to act around Starlight. Everyone here was blinded by the false promises Cinch had made to them. She preyed on you because you were the only one immune to her poisons and she took advantage of you for it. Obviously, smart people seem to take school quite more seriously than others. But you followed her blindly and without question. If you had taken your chances then, you too would rebel. She turned them all against you, looking at you as if something was wrong, never realizing that you were never the problem. They were. I'm doing what you couldn't. I'm setting these kids right. Influencing these students into changing life choices would make you no better than Cinch. Maybe worse. So I becomes enraged and firmly pulls on Twilight's blouse, bringing their faces closer together, frightening Twilight. Don't you dare compare me to that witch! I'm nothing like her. Starlight starts to growl at Starlight for threatening his friend. Yet Starlight roughly lets go of Twilight. Why are you doing this? The other students don't even trust Cinch anymore. You've already ridiculed her. What more could you want? I want her gone. For good. Twilight now feels a bit uneasy at the moment. I have turned everything in Cinch's life against her. Well, all except in one matter. Who is Midnight Sparkle? Twilight seems worried at what Starlight is implying. Internal hallway. She said what? Yep, she told me so herself. And to be honest, she was right. I was so focused on making myself better, I saw no need to show any concern to those less fortunate. All I've ever done is tell people what makes them terrible, only to make me feel good about myself. Whoa, Nelly. I thought you'd understand how bad you make others feel if you were in their shoes. But I never imagined it would go down like this. Well, that's how it was. Well, that's how I make other people feel. If that's how I make other people feel, then maybe it's best if I never existed at all. Now hold on there, Sugar Cube. Don't you ever say stuff like that. Sure, you can go a little overboard when it comes to speaking your mind, but that's no reason to be selling yourself short. You're a really nice person, Sugar Coat. Trust me, I know you are. How can you trust me? I can't even trust myself. Because I know now that your heart is in the right place. And you speaking to us is not all bad. You just notice all the faults in everything they do. If people aren't aware of all the little things they're doing wrong, they wouldn't bother to make room to improve. And more importantly, you've now noticed the flaws in yourself. Now you're on your way of making yourself a better friend than you ever were before. I could be more proud of you on that. Huh. I never thought of it like that. That's a spirit. Maybe. Splendid! Now, how about you, Sonny? Well, it's just... Do you think it's alright to change ourselves? I tried to help Starlight by tending to her complexion, but she told me improving oneself just for the sake of pressing others is just as bad as being different from them. What? That is ridiculous! There's nothing wrong with a little primping. I know. Ever since the friendship games, I have waited so long for things at this school to get better. But I feel what I can do is just isn't good enough. Oh, I completely understand, darling. You simply just want everything here to be just as fabulous as I would. We girls pamper ourselves so that our inner beauty can be radiated outwards, just as you want the school to be as bright and innocent on the inside as it looks glamorous on the outside. It's about making one looking fabulous, to make one feel fabulous. Yeah, I guess you're right. It really doesn't matter what others think. You just keep giving your all to make this place as marvelous as you hope it'll be. But now that really matters to people still think of us as the pack of means we were before. Oh, Sassy, nobody has to see you as those mean bullies if you let them. You really know how to rock out, and have fun, and bring out the best of yourself. If you can show them just how much fun and happy you can be, then you can inspire them to bring out that very same happiness inside of them. Then you won't have to be hated anymore. You'll make lots and lots of friends, and you'll be all having fun in the best party ever. Yeah, now that's what I'm talking about. Right on, party girl. She high-fives Pinkie Pie. I'm sorry about Starlight attacking your school. Is that why you came looking for her? Actually, we are here for many reasons. Looks back at the door, worrying over Twilight. Internal, Starlight's research room. I'm sorry, I just don't understand what you are asking. You're stalling, Twilight. Who is this Midnight Sparkle that everyone's been trying to hide from me? Every time I ask about her in the friendship games, those who know are being pretty vague about that incident. Principal Cinch wouldn't tell me. Dean Canyons wouldn't tell me. Not even all the students who were actually there wouldn't tell me. And now you. So who is she? Is she your sister, your cousin, an old acquaintance of yours? Not even Shiny Armor knows who she is. Shiny Armor? You know my brother? Something happened at the friendship case that brought the two schools together and persuaded you to transfer to Candlelight High. And I know this Midnight has something to do with it. If she did cause so much trouble for Cinch back then she would be of great use to me now. Midnight is the only piece of Cinch's thought that I know nothing about. She pounds her hand on the pictures of Midnight, which is just an outline with a question mark on it. And Twilight and Chart both thread together. Twilight is now worried about her situation, until she takes notice of another image of a question mark figure outlined above the two. Apparently it isn't. She points out the picture of Starlight. Oh, that's Cinch's mysterious representative. Representative? Yeah. Someone had convinced my therapist to have me enrolled in Crystal Prep on Cinch's good word. Turns out, whoever he is, has deceived Cinch and failed to inform her about my time at Juvenile Hall. I don't know why. But this dead end has been bugging me for quite some time, and I got to know who this mystery man is. Twilight starts to think for a bit, and then has an idea. What if me and my friends help you to find out? What? Well, it isn't quite obvious the person you're looking for is really difficult to find. So I figured that having a few extra hands might give you a better chance in your investigation. And what do you want to help me? Well, because that's what friends do. Differently smiles. Well, isn't that sweet? And also a bit ominous. If you're really friends, then join me in my own market ceremony. Then we can talk. It's quite clear you want to help on my little problem to make me forget all about Midnight Sparkle. Twilight looks even more worried, and then Starlight cracks a little smile. But as long as it helps get this issue off my back, I have no judgments. That's real nice of you, Twilight. I can see why everybody likes you. We'll talk about Midnight later. But are you sure your friends will be willing to help as well? Of course. Why wouldn't they? No reason. It's just that they all have so many different styles and different behaviors. I can only assume that their response would be a lot different than you hoped for as well. So why don't we go tell them the good news, shall we? And then we'll see just how dependable girlfriends with different outlooks really are. Starlight then walks over to the door with a smirk on her face. Twilight's about to tell us something, but she can't bring herself to say anything. She just looks at Spike with an upsetting look, and then looks back at Starlight's device on the table. Interior, hallways. The door opens, and Sunset and the other girls turn in surprise as Starlight steps out with a smile. They all look at her with their regard of. Twilight and Spike walk out shortly after. Then Sunset rushes past Starlight, who gives a resentful stare, and Sunset proceeds to comfort Twilight. Twilight, what happened? Are you okay? Yes, I'm fine, Sunset. So you've actually met my brother. I know he's heard about you, but he's never mentioned of meeting you. Shining Armor? Of course we met, Twilight. He was actually here one time. He's a really nice guy, speaks so highly of you. Mild demeanor, really handsome, and deeply respects your wishes. It's no wonder he indicates are currently dating. I know. He is very... Wait, they're what? Twilight, her friends, even Shadow 5 are feeling a bit awkward about what they have learned. Drama bomb. Yeah. Alright, girls, let's get going. Going? Going where? Well, you see, I sort of promised her we would do a little favor for her. Are you kidding me? You saying we have to go there to do who knows what? Forget it. You see what I mean, Twilight? Totally different responses. Oh, I'm not so sure about this. Why in the world would you agree to such an offer, Twilight? Because she's very considerate. She's like that, you know? Here and at CHS. And if any of you are such good friends, then you're gonna come with me and help me out in this little problem I've been having. Unless y'all wish to prove me right. Right about what? Oh, just about what I told you, Christopher Packers, before of how Twilight banned you all to get herself better friends. The Shadow 5, even Humane Samurai starting to hear this. That's not true. I would never discard these girls to choose someone over them. Oh, really? Well, then correct me if I'm wrong, but I seem to have heard a great deal of tension between you and these girls, and even after they said apology to you, you still turned them down. Am I right? Twilight's about to respond, until she pauses to think deeply on the statement. Anyway, free to assist if you want, but if any of you don't, I won't hold it against you. Everyone starts to think on the matter. Are you sure about this, Twilight? I'm sure. We are here to help her anyway, are we? Trust me, Sunset. Alright, Twilight. I trust you. Sunset gives the girls a nod of assurance. They're still pretty hesitant, and then they all give a nod in agreement. Super! Now follow me, I'll explain on the way. Starlight walks ahead down the hall, with Twilight and Sunset's friends following behind her. As she turns the corner, she looks back at the two with a menacing grin. I sure hope you know what you're doing, Twilight. Sunset goes to join the others, leaving Twilight, Spike, and the Shadow 5 as the last to leave. The Shadows are about to follow Starlight until... Girls, wait. I need to tell you something. You go on ahead. We'll catch up, okay? Sunset gives a thumbs up and disappears around the corner. What is it, Twilight? Look, girls, I don't think you should come with us. What? Why not? Is it true? Did you really brush us aside just for them? I should have known this would happen. This is what we get for pushing around and making you feel unwanted. You girls, I need you to do something for me. She takes out a notepad and pencil and writes something on it. Then she rips the page out of the pen and gives it to Sunny Flare. Go to this address. There's someone there who can help us with Starlight. Well, who is it? Just tell them Twilight Sparkle sent you. You understand once he explains everything. I really want to help Starlight. I figured this might be the way. You still got my cell number? Of course. Great. Just keep me in touch once you got everything settled. Could you do that for me? The Shadow 5 look at each other with uncertainty, but then they each give Twilight a nod. Thanks, girls. I'm counting on you. Come on, Spike. I'm right behind you. Both Twilight and Spike began to walk down the hall to join with the others, but the Shadow 5 started to feel really bad. We're sorry. Twilight and Spike just stopped and turned around in confusion. We were really sorry for the way we treated you back then. You didn't deserve any of that. We weren't very good friends to you. Oh, girls, it wasn't your fault. I don't blame you for it. But we had no right to do so. We tried helping Starlight ourselves to make up for failing you, but it seemed more difficult than we intended. You're right to transfer to Candlelight High. You seem to take friendship pretty well. Better than us. You deserve better friends. But I've already forgiven you. So in the past. We're all friends now. Everything's fine between us. Sure, you can say you forgive us, but it's not so easy telling yourself that. She's right. Maybe if we hadn't listened since, Ben and Sparkle wouldn't have existed. And us pushing you into releasing that much magic friendship gates and have you turn to a monster, without even considering consequences, makes you wonder where you're truly standing. That's alright. We were all affected by the same thing. I trusted Cinch too, so it's not entirely your fault. And believe me, I know far too well how hard it is to forgive yourself. As long as you all stand together and look out for each other, then no one will be able to stray you off the path you have made for yourselves. The Shelfie began to smile a bit. Thank you, Twilight. It means a lot coming from you. You've really changed since you were last year. I guess each just really does know more about friendship. And you can learn more about it too. You're even trying to help Starlight become a better friend as well. But it seems you're having some trouble with her over here. She must be very difficult to handle. Oh, she's a bit like you. But insane. Starlight keeps staying true in her belief that equality is all that really matters in making friends. She won't take any exceptions. So making friends with someone like her is next to impossible. Which is why it's more important now to help her out to see things differently. I know Lou about Starlight, and she's a lot more complicated than you know. She's a real girl, I just know it. I was worried she might be influenced by Singe as we were, but this is much worse. Then how are we gonna get her to accept friendship the way we see it? Well, if this plan of mine works, it might be possible she'll find everything in her little world has changed. And if it fails, I'd rather not think about it. If I go with Starlight and try to reach out to her on my end, you can speak with this person that will assist us in reforming her. So please, you have to do this little favor for me. And for Starlight. Sanford looks back at the other 4 girls, and they all give her a nod. Alright, Twilight. We'll go see this person you speak of. Thank you so much for doing this, girls. I better get going. You have no idea how much this means to me. I wasn't trying to replace you, you know? I really wanted all of us to be friends. It really is great seeing you again. She then runs out to catch up with Starlight and her friends. I don't have a clue about this plan as much as you do, but I just want to let you know we're all rooting for you. Spike leaves as well to Twilight, leaving the 5 girls with a frown on their faces. I guess somebody has to. To be continued. So sorry for the delay, folks. I was unaware it was gonna run long, so I made a couple changes, but not with much effort. Just wanted to let you know that the next chapter, the truth will be revealed. Well, part of it anyway.